If this is a 12-pound trigger, I want 12.0001 pounds of pressure to break it. If I apply 15 pounds of pressure, or let's say 30 pounds of pressure to a 12-pound trigger, all that energy must go somewhere. Where's it going? You gotta, what's that?
Low left.
It's somewhere. I mean, that depends. So if you have like a monster grip, if you're John and you're super strong and can hold that gun and move your finger independently, sometimes we'll do this, and I may do it to some of you, while you're holding, I'll press the trigger. If you're holding the gun tight enough, this finger, why should he be able to overcome 9 of his brothers? But for real, why should he be able to tell all of them what to do? So if you've got that good grip, the thing that we are trying to do though, the point of that group shooting is you're trying to train yourself to just apply enough pressure. I'll paste anything that you guys have outside of the target zone. We're adding layers here. So now you've got this draw stroke that you're working through. We're now going to be mindful of the trigger press. There's back in the 80s, IPSC shooters had a term, riding the link. Anybody ever heard that term?
Same as riding the reset?
Yep, same thing. But they were shooting 1911s at the time because Glock and that didn't exist. And there's some misconceptions about that. There's nothing wrong with shooting, holding the trigger back and resetting it. The point of doing that though is to learn where the reset point is at, and then you move on to the next lesson. As we dry fire, so when you hear me say slack out, any gun has some. There's like a good 1911, this gun has almost no slack. See, the trigger's got like no movement. In single action, there's like nothing. That's neither good or bad. It's kind of a personal preference. A lot of guys will tune up a trigger. One of my 19s back there has an SSVI setup in it, and it's right there. You're against the link when you place your finger. Slack out, you're at that wall. Then what happens? You got to push through the wall. Break. Now, here's where that reset methodology comes from. So, dry firing, I pinned the trigger back, reset, just to that break point. The theory is that I'm not moving the trigger all the way forward to then come back through. Reset. So, here's what you should be training yourself for if you subscribe to this philosophy. So, the trigger travel is now minimized. See? Yes, no. Here's the problem with this. I'm shooting for real now. This is no longer dry fire. I've shot. Boom! The gun cycles on its own. And then I reset. Well, what's that?
Slow.
Yeah, it's slow as shit. And you watch some of the fastest shooters in the world, they slap the crap out of the trigger. My friend Les, top 10 USPSA shooters in the planet, shoots this gun. Beats the thing like a red-headed stepchild. Slaps the snot out of it. Rob Latham, you guys know who Rob Latham is? AKA the Great One, winning USPSA shooter in history. Rob, 2 points. Rob, how do you hold the gun? Like how much pressure? Big man, like 6'2", 240. Says I take about all she's got, I take about all she's got, and I hold on. And then you watch him work the trigger, bashing it all over the place. But his bashing is controlled. He's not bashing through and back into the frame. I'm not telling you any specific way to work the trigger, because part of this is dependent upon speed, which we're going to talk about after our break. If I want one super well-placed shot, I may, and then I don't care what happens after that, because all I cared about was that one shot. But in the context of gunfighting, I want to place as many holes into bad guy as possible, as fast as possible. Which means that I need to have the ability to hold the gun on the target, see the sights, and make the trigger go forward and backwards as fast as possible. More important than anything is the ability to get the slack out of the trigger at whatever speed you need to. You may have to do it really quick. You see my gun move? Or you may have to do it really quick. Watch the gun now. There's not much happening because all I'm doing is moving my finger. It's nothing exciting or sexy. Hold the damn gun, pull the trigger. I need to come back to the holster on this first iteration. Load, make, ready, press check. No need to come back to the holster. Okay, so first shot. Put the gun out in front of you. Do not squeeze the trigger. Put the gun out in front of you. Press out with your full extension as if you were going to shoot. Place your index finger onto the trigger however you want it. Don't fire, guys. Slowly press back until you come to the wall. Slowly press back till you feel that resistance in the trigger. Slip that thumb. You follow? So you're at the wall? Yes, no?
Yes.
Now, for you, press slowly, 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 slowly. Okay, now you're going to do that again. This time, you're going to keep the trigger back. You follow? Gun's going to go off. The trigger will still be at the rear. Do you follow?
Yeah.
Everybody? John, you tracking?
Got it.
Not you. Okay, here we go. Once everybody's fired, we're going to hear a bunch of clicks. Slowly release your index finger until the trigger and steer reset. Feel that?
Yeah.
Now, move the trigger all the way forward and remove that slack again. Do that a few times. Just feel the slack in the trigger. John, you got more ammo? Okay. Feel that slack. So, I want you guys to finish your magazine right now. Don't dry fire. The point, I don't even care about hits right now. I care more about you getting that tactile sensation of moving the trigger to the rear, feeling that wall, feeling the wall break, and feeling the back of the trigger. Again, if it's a 5-pound trigger, don't imply 20 pounds of force. Imply 5.000001, right? Follow? I can't hear you. Yep. All right. Oh, whatever's in your gun, finish. Listen to my gun. Here's what I wanted, guys. And if you guys were doing this, my apologies. Listen to my gun. Yeah, I was trying to get you to feel how that's cycling and how it's working. Were you doing that?
Yes, sir.
So each time you were pinning the trigger to the rear? Everybody?
Nope.
You liars. I was watching. I'm not saying you were a liar.
No, I'm trying to understand what
Watching.
you said.
Okay, check it out. Here's what I wanted you to do. Pin. Reset.
Got it.
That's all. Were you following?
I got it.
If you got ammo left in the mag, work through it. If you've got ammo on you, reload. Yes, no?
Yes.
How about yes, sensei?
Yes, Sensei.
I'm joking. That was a joke. That was a joke. Just say got it. Just say got it. This is why the military has things like hoo, because then you just can means I hear you. Which don't do that either. You can just say okay. Okay. How about that? Okay. Go ahead, guys. Ride the link. That whole reset was meant as a very specific training aid to teach somebody how a trigger works, and then you move on from there. Yet now, 90% of pistol courses, and if somebody's teaching this, it's okay. It's not wrong per se, but then you got to add to it. That's the point is not.
So I have a question.
Please.
When the targets are this close, everybody slaps the trigger. When the targets are further away, maybe there's a no-shoot in front of it, I feel like I ride the reset because it slows me down enough to get an
So
accurate
mentally
shot.
that may be your thing, right? What John's talking about, and this is what I'm leading up to, there is no always this way. About the only always this way with a gun is I'm not pointing this anywhere I don't want to. That's about the only always this way. We're going to take a break and then we're going to talk about what I call sight gears, and that sight gears is congruent with the trigger work. So let's grab some water. We'll work through this and then we'll take our lunch. You guys got mags, top them off. So, A-zone hit. With the sights way below me. I put one down. I'm okay with that hit in the context of a gunfight. Why am I showing you? Because I don't